here to highlight one of our new products that I'm super excited about. It's our Chroma ID. What's it about? It's a bonding direct dye. Why do you need that? Because who doesn't want their hair to be protected and to be rebuilded after they've lightened their hair? Our Chroma ID product has integrated bonding technology in it that will help the hair to be repaired after the hair has already been pre-lightened. It's a direct dye, so what that means is it has no lift, but it can deposit. The best part about this is it's a conditioning color. So let's get into it.
Feel it, can you feel it? Turn it up until they all hear the beat.
She originally had a texture about a 2A, which means she was more of a looser wave, but she still was a very, very dense texture of her hair. I went ahead and pre-lifted, and I used Blonde Me with 20 volume developer. I went ahead and I mixed up a few options. We're gonna do some vibrant colors, something more fun, something a little bit more punky, and the great part about it is all of these colors are intermixable. Right? You don't have to just use one. You don't have to wait for them to come out with this color. If you know your primaries, then you can make anything, right? So what I did is I went ahead and I mixed up our off black with our 9-12, right? Very, very little bit of the 9-12, but what I wanna do is I wanna use that to smoke out the root. So I'm just gonna outline, because the thing about a shadow root is it's always okay if it goes a little bit longer. It creates the ability to have a harsher line when that regrowth hits in. I've learned within this time of using Chroma that even if I'm on a dark canvas, it'll still give me something. It's not like, it's like, oh, their hair was too dark, you couldn't see it. No, I've done it on black. I've done a purple on a black canvas and it's come out this pretty eggplant, like nice little color. And what it does is it gives my client, it makes my client feel less boring, right? If they're not ready to commit and it's like it rinses out in a few shampoos, you know? So what's the problem? Use it. I use it, I love it. We've gone ahead and we've outlined it, we've done the shadow root. Super excited about the direction I'm going. It's kind of random, just kind of came into my head. As a stylist, we all know we just kind of decide and go for it. I went ahead and I did my roots. I did my shadow root at the base. And then I'm gonna go ahead and around the bottom half of the hair, all along the ears, we're gonna do the 9-12 by itself. I apply it and I'm just gonna go ahead and paint it on and melt this color in. The cool thing about the 9-12, it does have a lot of control. So even though I'm not fully on like a white canvas or that banana yellow, it'll still do what I want it to do as far as toning it down, because I don't want to rid it fully of the gold because I'm using yellow. So I'm using yellow as one of my colors, so I don't mind having a little bit of a tone in that. But I'm go ahead and I'm just gonna apply it, make sure those ends are fully saturated. Again, because it is textured, you make sure that the sections make sense. You have to be able to see through them, right? You wanna make sure everything gets touched, right? Nothing gets left, like no child left behind. No strands left behind. So again, I'm just melting that in, like so. One thing you always want to remind yourself to do when you're doing textured hair is to make sure that your sections are fine enough to where you can see through them and you can make sure that that texture, that hair, gets fully saturated all the way through. So I've gone ahead and I've completed my first melt, which is around the bottom nape of the head, underneath the occipital bone. This is my direct 9-12. And as you see, it's giving me a lot of control, which I'm super excited about. The thing about lifting textured hair prior to your deposit, okay, you have to be very, very, very sure of the direction if you're going cool or warm. Because the thing about textured hair is the density automatically will create a warmer canvas first, as anytime you lift hair, right? You have to go through your warm areas before you get to your cool areas. But when you're doing textured hair, you'll stay in a warmer area a lot longer before you get to your cooler area. So that's gonna mean that you're gonna have to time this properly. You're gonna have to make sure that when you're lifting, that you're checking, that you're paying attention to the levels that you're at, and you have to have a desired goal to the direction that you're gonna go to. So we see that we've gone with, like I said, the 9-12, which is just gonna give me like that nice cool tone. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a really deep, crazy pigmented blue, which I'm super excited about. So I'm just gonna go in with my brush, and just as I did before, paint it on. You see that? Very true. That's the thing I love about the Chroma. It's very true to tone. What you see is what you get. That's what you get when you're dealing with a direct dye. It's very true to tone, which helps because then you'll know exactly where you're going. Now we're gonna go into the real fun. We're gonna use yellow. Why am I using yellow? Because it just looks good with the blue. Cool thing about this, again, as I continue to do my application, keeping in mind that not only am I depositing, I'm also conditioning at the same time. Which again, for anyone with textured hair, that is always the #1 rule. You have to condition the hair. Because it is a conditioner that has pigment in it, it'll give you the deposit as well as it'll do the repairing for the bonds that were broken during the process. So it's very good to have in your portfolio at the salon because of the simple fact that it has all the aspects in it that you need in order to provide the best service for your clients, as well as creating the looks that you want without having to go in several times to get that look. The best part about this is it has the exact feel of a conditioner when you're using it. So it's very malleable, it's easy to manipulate, and it's easy to go ahead and lay flat on that canvas. It's very smooth, which you won't have with a lot of other direct dyes, just specifically direct pigment. It's a lot different when it comes to the actual application and the way that it lays. So I love the fact that it has the same agents. It has the same consistency as you would if you were going ahead and doing a conditioner.
I can't help but feel good. I can't help but feel fine. Everything is in its place and everything is mine.
Done the color, now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna highlight styling using our Osis line, some of my favorite style hacks, as well as this, our circular rod. So, what's this for? It's gonna give us a little volume, but I'll show you how you use it very, very soon. Stay tuned. I went ahead and I shampooed her out using a mask from Blonde Me. And even though I've already done the extra chroma mask, I sometimes like to go through and just one time, just lay one layer of our bonding mask on top of it just to seal it in. I blew dry her out, and then I took a flat iron and I went through it very, very lightly for just to kind of smooth it out. I didn't want it to have so much texture in it because I'm gonna do something really cool when it comes to the styling. What am I doing? I'm using these. What are these? These are my faves. They're rods, right? But they're made out of foam and they're super exciting. It gives a lot of volume with the hair. So the way that I'm gonna do it today is I'm gonna start from the actual middle and I'm gonna work my way. Instead of doing so many sections, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and part it out. I'm gonna clip it off like so, right? One, and then I'll part it out again, 2 sections, right? I'm gonna only do 3 sections because I don't need to do too much when it comes to placement. All I need is the hair out of the way and the hair that I'm gonna work with. So I'm gonna go vertical lines going straight down as such, right? And I'm gonna create my first section. I'm gonna use our Fab Foam by Osis. This is also one of my favorite products. It is a #2, which is a medium control, but I love it so much. Just a little bit, not too much. Just work it down. Because of the way that the Fab Foam is, it's not very, very water-based. So it's already sucked up the hydration in the hair and it's still dry, which is perfect for what I'm getting ready to do. Put a little bit more. It allows me to use a little bit more of the product. Okay, get it nice and saturated. You see the hair is not reverting back, it's not coiling, it's staying in a straight form, which is exactly what I want. Grab one of these rings, and I put all of the hair through one ring, right? I split the hair in 2. I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna clip it out of my way because I want it to give me free-flowing abilities. I wanted to make sure that I can move it around. This is one. Okay, so I wrap it around like so. Okay, and I may take a little bit more foam just to seal that in to make it stay. Mixing a higher volume developer to get to where you need, because the texture is more coarse, is very wrong. Actually, you need a lower volume developer when you're dealing with a more textured hair, because as I stated in the very beginning, when you're dealing with textured hair, you're dealing with hair that's a little bit more delicate. Okay, so it's not only more delicate, it's more dense, and it lacks moisture. And when you're dealing with something that lacks moisture, the last thing you want to do is blast the cuticle out and create more of an issue to where there's nowhere to hold the moisture when you try to put it back. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the last section. Same thing, splitting that hair in two. And at this point, what I've done is I've created more volume on the top. So as I roll it, I'm rolling it as I go up the ring in an upward motion, so that when I complete it, I can put a clip there and have it to stand up a little bit. Clip it down. So from here, I want to keep this standing up. So I'm going to grab one clip and I'm going to secure that base down like so. Okay, so you have your volume right here. And if you so choose and you want a little bit more volume, all you have to do is lift the lift the ring up, grab a clip, and again, secure it at the base to get it to stand. So I have some of our Magic here by Osis. This is a shine, a light shine. It's also an anti-frizz serum. I like to use a little bit of oil in my hands when I get ready to remove any rods or do any type of twist out at all, because it keeps the hair smooth, and it also adds the shine to the hair. So it's gotten a little bit of crunchy, so what I do is I move them around. The way that we remove them again is we just take the rods and we roll them down like so. Okay, now as I roll them, you're gonna notice that coils start to kick in. As you see, I've gotten the rods out, and now we're gonna go ahead and separate these coils. As I said before, it makes a lot of sense to put a little bit of oil in your hand as you're separating, just so that you can make sure that that hair glides through nice and smoothly. So the way that we do that is we just kind of run our hands down, run. So that's just so that we can break up the actual product on the hair since it's hardened. And then we proceed with separating as so. Just simple, going along the hair and taking that curl and just manipulating it to go into place. And you end up like that. You just play with it until you get the look of the coil that you're looking to get. And then you just do it as you go. Separate it, separate it, separate it. Because this is what's gonna give you that fro, right? You have to separate the hair out of the large coil into small coils in order to see. So we're back, going ahead and wrapping up our styling portion. I went ahead and I used one of my favorite products for setting hair. I used the Fab Foam by Osis. What I did was, again, I sectioned the hair in vertical sections, going straight down the head in an absolute clockwork almost motion. And then from there, I wrapped it around these fun circular rings. These are rods, but they're actually made out of foam. They give you this amazing, voluminous look right here. You see that? Super amazing. I'm excited about today. I had so much fun. Thank you guys for stopping by. Now, if you like what you saw and you want to go ahead and do us a favor, put a comment at the bottom, like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. Once again, I'm Johanna Freeman, and I'm so glad you stopped by. Have a good one.